We're just going to do a quick video on how to palpating and resisting, okay? You'll get into resistance with TheraBand and free weights later and gets a little more complicated. I would stick with the basic bones when it comes to resisting. So if she's doing shoulder abduction, okay, this is the movement, okay, push into my hand. That's it. That's good enough, okay, to resist. It gets much more complicated later. I want you guys to help read this. Somebody read these off to me. Anterior deltoid, what is it?
Lateral. The origin is lateral third of the clavicle.
Okay, lateral third of the clavicle. Where's it go? Deltoid tuberosity, which is going to be right here, correct? And that's all you need to know. What's it do? Flexion?
Horizontal adduction.
Internal rotation. Okay, flexion, show me the movement. Okay, push into my hand. Push, push, push. Okay, what's another thing it does? Internal rotation. Put her hand here for the internal rotation. Push into my hand. Okay, what else does it do? Horizontal adduction. Add or ab?
Add.
Adduction. So it's going to be coming in, right? Okay, this is the movement. Okay, push into my hand. That's all it takes. What's the next one?
Middle deltoid.
Okay, where's that?
Origin is lateral acromion.
Lateral acromion. Acromium's right here.
Yeah, deltoid.
Deltoid tuberosity. Right here. What's it do?
Abduction to
Okay,
90.
up the abduction to 90, right there. Okay, that's the movement. Push into my hand. That's it. Anything else it does? Nothing else. What's the next one?
Posterior deltoid.
Okay, what is it?
Spinal scapula.
Spinal scapula, right there.
To the deltoid tuberosity.
Again, all three of them run to the deltoid tuberosity right here, correct? So it just comes down. What's it do?
Extension.
Extension, that's the movement. Push into my hand. What else? Horizontal abduction. So it's going to be this, right? Push into my hand. What else? External. Again, when you get external rotation or internal, put them at 90-90 on their elbow. This is the movement. Push into my hand. Notice it does opposite of what the anterior. So memorize the anterior. It does the opposite. They're kind of brother and sister on that. Okay, what's the next one?
Brachialis.
Okay, where's it run from?
Coracoid process to the medial humeral shaft.
To the medial what?
Humeral shaft.
Medial humeral shaft. Right there's the coracoid process. Medial humeral shaft. She's in anatomical position. That's perfect. So it's going to be right here, from there to here, right? What's it do?
Flexion and adduction.
Flexion. This is flexion. Push into my hand, and it does adduction, right? This. Push into my hand. That's good. Okay, what else?
Okay, latissimus dorsi, and then it has a lot of origins.
Okay, latissimus dorsi. And you know, again, on the skeleton, you can just show the. Oh, I had some. What's the origin?
Thoracolumbar aponeurosis
Okay.
is the first one.
Yeah, and it's just the aponeurosis is a big fibrous membrane. It's sort of like a ligament. What's the difference between a ligament and a bone? Ligament and a tendon.
Ligaments are bone to bone.
Yeah, and same way with aponeurosis. It is too, but the ligament is going to be, and the tendon's going to be thicker and stronger. The aponeurosis is thinner and a little bit weaker. It's more of a sheath, but it does similar thing. So it's just going to be all down here. We used to have to know it was like the last lower 6 and the upper whatever. You don't have to do that now, but it makes it a little harder to find. So you just get the sacrum. It actually catches the inside of the crest, but that's all right. It comes up and comes what? To the inferior angle. That's is the origin, right? And then the insertion's going to come under. Where's it go to?
Bicipital groove.
Around bicipital groove. If you do forget, I think if you do know it does what? Internal or external rotation? It does internal rotation. If you forget which way it goes, but you know it does internal, it's got to run on the medial side of that, okay? And same way, if it does anything does lateral, it's got to run on the lateral side of the head, okay? So anyway, you don't have to be quite so picky when you're palpating. I mean, it's going to come sacrum, it's going to come up, and with the definition we have now, you don't have to, don't tell me how many spinous processes we did, but it's gonna come up and over, it's gonna come up, and it's gonna catch her inferior angle right there, okay? And then it's gonna come up underneath, wrap around, and you're gonna show me to the what? Bicipital groove, right there, okay? And what's it do?
Extension.
Extension, this is a movement, pushing my hand. What else?
Adduction.
Adduction, this is a movement, pushing my hand.
And then internal rotation.
And external rotation, again,
Internal.
internal rotation. Put it there, comes in, pushing my hand. That's good. Okay, what else
Okay,
next?
Terry's major, and she said that was like a mini lat.
It is.
Has-
Exact
yeah,
same
what-
thing, it is, a perfect way to think of it, mini lat, does the same movements, right?
Mhm.
And where's the origin at?
It just has one, but it's the inferior angle of the
Yeah, it,
scapula.
right where the lats come up, it does too, it starts here, and then where's it go?
Biceps.
Same plate, runs up and under, does the same movements. Again, those two you want to put together. You know, you don't have a lot of easies in this one, so latch onto that, baby. What's next?
Infraspinatus, the origin is infraspinatus fossa.
Okay, Infraspinatus fossa. There's the supraspinatus, right? Spine, infraspinatus is right below, right? So it's this whole area right here. It's a flat kind of broad muscle. Where's it go to? That's the origin.
Greater tubercle.
Okay, does it do external or internal? External. I know it's going to come around. Where's it go around to? The
Greater tubercle.
greater tubercle. So it's going to run around. It's going to come around here to the greater tubercle. Right there. Right there. What's it do?
Yeah, external and extension.
External and extension. External rotation, there's the movement, pushing to my hand. Extension, there's the movement, pushing to my hand. Again, you know, could it do horizontal? Yeah, abduction, shoulder, I guess it looks like it. Again, it's hard to memorize those. Angle. I look at that and I can see where it might do it, but it doesn't. So you need to memorize these babies. I'm just telling you, you will get lost if you don't. What's next?
Okay, Terry's minor, origin is axillary border, scapula, and basically every.
Oh. Axillary border is scapula. Right up in the armpit, right in here, right? There's your scapula. There's the axillary border. Right there. Okay, where's it go to?
Greater tubercle,
Does it do internal or external?
external.
It does external. So it's going to run right up, starts here, runs right up here, correct?
Mhm.
And it's going to do what?
Extension and, yeah.
Extension and external?
Mhm.
Yep. There's extension, push into my hand. Here's external, push into my hand. Okay, what's
Okay,
next?
triceps brachii I.
Okay.
So long head is infraglenoid tubercle.
Okay, and the scapula, you can't really hardly get to it. I mean, it's actually going to be more up here, but it's up inside on her scapula. The infra's right in there, and that's good enough. As long as you kind of go up in there and tell me it's on the scapula right up in there, I can't really get to it good because that head, that humerus sets up there, we're okay. Then where's it run?
To the olecranon process.
Runs down to the olecranon. That's the long head, right?
Yeah. And then lateral and medial heads, they both originate on the posterior humerus.
Right, right here, and they run where? Same place?
Yes.
Right here. So what's it do?
So the long head does extension of the shoulder and elbow, and then the
Yeah,
other-
the humerus. I mean, it's going to
Humerus.
pull everything back, right? So it's got extension, correct?
yeah,
Do
and then
that
all-
motion. Pushing my hand. That's resisted. Now the medial and the lateral, right? Head.
and the long head all do elbow extension.
Yes. So it's hooking on down here, so they all, but these two originated here to here. So it can't flex that or extend that humerus. It just does the forearm. Okay? So I keep this humerus straight, and this is the motion, so push into my hand. And that's good enough. I mean, you can use TheraBand. Don't make this harder. You got enough to memorize. We'll get into the motions later. What's next?
Okay, upper trapezius, origin is external occipital protuberance.
You guys know that really well, okay? And then where's it?
Insertion is the lateral 1/3 of the clavicle and the acromion.
Okay, lateral 1/3 of the clavicle Can't find it. There it is. It's right there. So it's going to be running right down here and then the chromium, correct?
Yep.
Okay. What's the motions?
Elevation and upward rotation.
Okay, elevation, that's it. You could put your hands on this and go ahead and shrug your shoulders and stop it. You could put a weight in her hand and have her shrug her shoulders. You could put the TheraBand here, put it underneath her foot, shrug your shoulders, okay? A couple of these you can't, it's hard to resist. You can do that and that'd be okay, but anyways, fine. What else?
Middle traps.
Okay.
Origin is C7 to T3.
Okay,
Spinous.
Spinous process. C7, flex your head, find the big prominence right here. And it goes C7 to what, T3? Remember what T3 was?
Spine.
Spine of the scapula, so you're going to tell me there's a spine, so they're going to come right down here. That's the origin of the muscle, then where's it go to?
Oh, spine of the scapula. That's the insertion.
All right,
Spine.
spine of the scapula.
Yeah.
Which is all through here. So it just runs, you got the upper traps come down, coming out here, you got the middle, comes out over here onto the spine. And what's it do?
Retraction.
Retraction. Okay, again, that's a tough one to resist. Turn around. I'll have some TheraBand in there. Grab one on each hand. One on each hand. Just there you go. Okay, I want you to do that. There you go. Okay? That
Okay,
one.
lower traps.
Okay?
Origin T4 to T12 spinous process.
Okay, and again, you know where T3's at, come across the spine, it's this one down to T12, you know where 7's at, right? For your angle. So just come down here, tell me 7's here, and it's going to be 5 more vertebrae. It's going to run right through here. Big, long muscle. That's where the origin's at. Where's it go to?
Root of the spine.
Root of the spine is right here. So it's a big, flat kind of muscle going to come up and come right into here, right? And what's the actions?
Depression and upward elevation.
Okay, depression. How do you do depression? Yep. I mean, you could say push into my hands, and that would be okay. You could do seated chair push-ups. You could put some TheraBand over the top, but anything just to resist it. Think about how the movement is. I want to stop it, and I'm fine with that. That'd be like an isometric. Okay. What else is there?
And then upward rotation.
Okay, upward rotation. How can we do upward rotation? Yeah. Would this be upward rotation? Would this be upward rotation? Yeah, scapula. Anytime you're doing this, that scapula is going to be what? Upward rotating. So I don't really care. Upward rotation, that's a good one right there. That's the movement. Push into my hand. You got it. What's next?
Supraspinatus. Origin is supraspinatus fossa.
Okay. Spine of the scapula, right above it. Nice, soft, fleshy muscle runs down. Turn the sideways a little bit. Runs down, where's it go to?
Greater tubercle.
Goes down the greater tubercle. Comes right into here, right? What's it do?
Adduction and stabilization.
Okay, it does
And-
abduction, up.
No. Oh, yeah, sorry. Abduction.
Okay, that's okay. This is the movement. Push into my hand, and it stabilizes. You can't just tell me that. It stabilizes the head in there, because when it does, it actually comes through this hole right here underneath the chromium, and that thing gets riding up, and that's where you get your pinching. It starts pinching it. You get all kinds of problems. Okay.
Okay, do you want us to go over the one that we haven't Dr.
Yep, I
Whitaker?
want to go to.
Or just the ones we've already been through?
Let's go ahead and keep on going a little bit, because I want to only do a couple of these and I'll be done.
Oh, okay. Biceps Brachii I.
Okay?
Origin, the short head is on the coracoid process of the scapula.
Okay, what, right here? Again, I like to find it like that. Right here.
And then long head is on the supraglenoid tubercle of the
Okay,
scapula.
and it's going to be down. The supra is going to be up in here. Again, I can't get to it. I mean, you can see it here on the scapula. It's right there. You know, so the coracoid process, and it's going to be right in there, and that's fine. Where's it run to?
Tuberosity of the radius.
Tuberosity of the radius. It's going to be all the way down, right?
That's the start.
Huh?
That's the start.
Oh, tuberosity of radius. Where's the tuberosity of the radius?
Isn't it
Like
probably in
that's
there?
a deep in
Right in here?
Mhm.
Right in here?
like a beautiful here, just that.
Yeah.
No, that one.
Right here. That's what I was at the second. Right here, right? This is what?
Stylus.
Stylus. Tuberosity of the radius. Right here, right? So what's it going to do? You got two heads here and here, right? And it runs down to here. So what's it going to do?
Elbow flexion.
Okay, elbow flexion, that's one. Push into my hand. What's the other one?
Humeral flexion.
What?
Flexion of the humerus.
Flexion of the humerus. Pull all the way up, right? Push into my hand. Okay?
Supination.
And supination. Supination. Go ahead and do that. Turn your hand.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Wrong way.
Okay, and it does like the supinate. You see how it does, why it supinates, okay? It comes in, it's got that all on the side, and it wants to supinate. You'll turn the radius. Okay, next.
Okay, levator scapula. The origin is C1 to C4, transverse process.
C1 to C4. C1 is clear up. This is what, C7? So C1 to C4, transverse process. It's going to be running, I would come all the way up. You kind of feel her head right there. And it's just saying it's going to run down the spinous process, the transverse process, right? I'm sorry. C1, C4.
Yeah.
7's there, so you're just about 3 or 4 vertebrae from it. That's fine. You know what you're talking about. You know where the muscle's going to be. Where's it run to?
Vertebral border of the scapula.
Vertebral border of the scapula. So it's going to run all the way down here, right? Right into here. So what's that do?
Elevation and downward rotation.
Okay, again, so as she shrugs, I can just, this will be good enough, shrug your shoulders, push into my hands, and what?
Downward rotation.
So again, remember, upward could be in any position. This is the motion. Go down, push into my hand. Okay.
Okay, rhomboids, minor and major.
Okay.
C7 to T5 spinous process.
C7, again, bend your head, biggest bump right there. C7, T5. I know where T3 is at, correct? Is that T3? No, it's not. T3's up here, right? Okay. There's T3, just tell me you come down a couple more. That would be the bulk of that muscle. And where's it go?
To the root of the spine and the vertebral border.
Okay,
of
root of the
scapula.
spine, right? Right there. And the vertebral border, which is all the way down here. So it's just going to run here. And what's it do?
Adduction / retraction and then downward rotation.
Okay, of the scapula, right?
Yes, of the
So it does
scapula.
adduction, right? Which is going to be this. How can we do that?
TheraBand. TheraBand.
Yep, TheraBand. Again. Yep. What else does it do?
Downward rotation.
Downward rotation, so it's just going to be start here, push into my hand. You could have TheraBand holding up here. She did that, but you really don't have to. What was the other one?
Just
two?
those two.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Subscapularis
Okay.
originates on the subscapular fossa of the scapula.
Subscapular fossa, anterior side, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So we're really talking about, I think that big part of that big red muscle is really it there. That red part, I think the blue is serratus. See that part in there? I believe that's it. So all you gotta do is just tell me it's inside here. It's inside on the anterior side of that scapula. Okay? You can't get to it. Okay?
And then to the lesser tubercle.
To the lesser tubercle, which is going to be right up in here. It's on the inside, remember? Greater's out here, the groove. The lesser is on the medial side. So what's it do?
Medial rotation.
Okay, now if you don't know it does medial rotation, if it do know it knows that, it goes on the inside. If it went on the outside, it'd be external. So you know it runs up and runs into here. Okay? That will help you out some, I think, if you know that. It does medial or lateral rotation, and you can't tell in the skeleton on her where it runs. It's always going to be medial to turn it in, I think. I don't think there's any exceptions. Okay, so it does medial.
And adduction.
Okay, that's it. That's the motion in my hand, and does adduction. That's the motion, push into my hand. Okay? What else?
Okay.
So you look at that. Well, would it do extension? It could possibly do extension looking at the pull, but it doesn't. Okay.
Serratus anterior.
Good old serratus. Everybody loves it.
Lateral surface of the upper 8 ribs.
Okay, we're talking about, it just kind of knifes itself out of the upper 8 ribs. It just comes out here, and where's it go?
to the vertebral border of the scapula on the anterior
Yeah,
side.
and it runs underneath the scapula up to here. And you can see this blue part, I believe that's it in here. So it really, subscap's in here, and this radius runs all the way around and it catches this outside kind of it. So if it's weak, this thing wings out, right? What's it do?
Protraction and upward rotation.
Okay, upward rotation just goes up, right? Push it in my hand. And protraction. Grab this. Okay, it's right here to that. It's that. Now do that motion, and that's it. Okay? So you can do wall push-ups plus, and do the extra. That would do it too. You know what I'm saying? So if you're down here, and you come up here, from here to there, that's just 2 inches. But that's working that. Okay, what else do we have?
Brachialis originates on the anterior shaft of the humerus.
And again, we used to know like the medial third or something. She took that off, so it's easier, but it's harder for me to palpate. But it does say what?
Anterior shaft.
Anterior shaft. So just here's okay. To where?
Tuberosity of the ulna.
Tuberosity of the ulna, which is going to be in here, right? It's kind of up a little bit, but it's right here. You can't really feel it. It's in too much meaty area. Okay? So it's here, and what's it do?
Just elbow flexion.
Yeah, it just does flexion. Big flexor, right? I mean, it's right there. It's got that pull perfect spot. So that's the motion. Push into my hand. You're good to go. What else is there?
Brachioradialis, lateral supracondylar ridge of the humerus.
Where's that at?
Right
Huh?
where-
Yeah. Yeah, it's right here. Right from lateral, epicondyle, it's right back from a little bit. Where's it go to?
Styloid process of the radius.
Styloid process of the radius. Is that correct down here? Okay. What's it do?
Flexion of the elbow only with the forearm in mid position.
Okay. Mid position means it's this way with thumb up. You see the pull? I mean, it's here, and the line of pull comes to here. So this is the pull. So that's where it's strongest. This is it. Push into my hand. Okay? I mean, it will pull some here when she's over, but it's going to want to pronate too a little bit. But that's mid position. Okay? What else?
Okay, extensor carpi radialis longus.
Let me see. Let's just quit right there.